Hi everyone, welcome to Eden's Secret. Okay, so this time we've got mint choc chip. Now, as far as mint choc chip's concerned, the embeds are chocolate and then the rest is the mint all around. And we've got 3 batches of this, so I'm going to cut 2 whole loaves, but they're a little bit too high for my liking, these ones, so the soaps are going to be a bit narrower. I just need to cut and then weigh to make sure I get them the right weight. That's 6 ounces, so that's a bit big, so I need to make them a little bit narrower. And then the loaf on the end is even higher. Crazy. And the reason that happened is because it's difficult to work out with my new moulds how high they need to be, because when you're putting embeds in, obviously it changes how much soap is going into your mould. So it might take me a few goes at this to get it right. And those 2 slices I've cut were too small. So they'll just go to be in samples. I know this one's going to be too big. Yeah, we'll get there in the end. But the bigger ones, you can always cut them down. This one is perfect. Again, this soap's about 2 weeks old as well. So as you can see, they still cut, no problem, even after 2 weeks. No crumbly bits. It's predominantly mint, but it does also have eucalyptus in it and a tiny touch of vanilla as well to soften it, so it's not a harsh in your face medicinal peppermint smell. It's delicate and just really lovely. And then, rather than using the knife, if there's any trace colour, this is what I used to do with it, just to smooth it up. It actually seems to work better if you use a cloth. So I'm just using a cloth now to do it, even though I'm doing it like this here. But your knife's got to be really flat and smooth. If it isn't, you're going to get gouge marks in there. Excuse me. So I'm just going to cut a piece off the end of here to go as samples. Of course that won't be a whole sample, it'll get cut up into maybe 3 pieces, and then a piece off this end, and then I'm literally just going to cut this in half to get 2 full loaves. And I'm doing it by eye because this end of the soap is actually a little bit lower than the other end, so to get the weight right I need to off balance the centre line, so I'm going to go more nearer to the back than to the front. Someone sent me a message this morning asking me how many cupcakes they were going to get out of a £5 batch. Well, the answer to that is I don't know, because I don't do a £5 batch, plus I don't know how big the cupcakes are. But basically the easiest way to work that out is work out what the weight of each cupcake's going to be, and if it's 130 grams, or I don't know, how many ounces is that? It's about 4 ounces, isn't it? Then you just divide the £5 by 4 ounces, and that should tell you round about how many cupcakes you're going to get out of your base. But generally when you're just learning how each batch works, it never works out perfectly anyway, so you've just got to keep changing it slightly to get it right. Let's see, this loaf's really high, so these slices need to be narrower again, and even that one was nearly 6 ounces, so you see how that's happened there? I'm just going to show you why that happened. That's because the end of my knife is bent over here and I cut into it like that. So I'm struggling to get to see people's videos as well, and answering messages. That's going to be a little bit of my little rant video, is emails and messages and things like that. It makes it very difficult for me if all the information isn't in one email. But we'll talk more about that later. I find it much easier cutting with my big knife than with this smaller one. This one is a little bit sharp.